task team is closing in on several syndicates responsible for kidnapping. Now, I've got even better news for you this morning. I can confirm to you that last night, this particular task team led an operational plan and they implemented it. And I can assure you that the businessman that was kidnapped last Friday in the Deer has been rescued. He is back safe with his family. In this particular case, we have arrested 3 people. So it's good news for us. It tells us that we are closing in on the syndicates, we are closing in on the suspects, and we have a dedicated team that wants to ensure that we arrest this situation of the spate of kidnappings in the country.
Thank God for that. And we pray that you guys continue working really hard behind the scenes and truly get rid of these monsters that are involved in such heinous crimes. And I do know that while speaking with me this morning, um, you are not at liberty to give me too much information, but has it been established at all if these alleged kidnappers are locals or foreign nationals? We heard some time ago that the masterminds behind these kidnappings are Pakistani nationals with links to these syndicates abroad as well. Is there anything you can confirm to me from what I have just commented on now?
Okay. What I can explain to you, just to give you a brief background, there are several groupings that are involved in the kidnapping where ransom demands are made. And with the latest arrest, especially last week's arrest, this is one of the kingpins in the several groupings that have been identified. Now, these groupings operate in different provinces, with Gauteng being our biggest problem, followed by the Western Cape. We also have KZN coming third, and we also have Limpopo and the Eastern Cape. Now, I can assure you that the majority of people that we are arresting are South Africans, but we also have Mozambican nationals. We also have Pakistani nationals. So I can also confirm to you that we are working closely with the Mozambican police agency, where they are also holding their own operations bilaterally, while we are also running our operations in South Africa to ensure that we apprehend these syndicates. And I can assure you that, like I've alluded, we are closing in. We do believe we've got the correct people that have been behind the spate of kidnappings. Now, if I can explain to you what happened last week, on Wednesday afternoon last week, an intelligence-driven operation swooped in at an identified address in Brackenhurst, where the team pounced on the alleged kingpin and his 3 associates. At this address, police found and seized 3 high-powered vehicles, 6,000 tablets of Mandrax, hard cash, a receipt of sale for a 1.9 million rand property in Bryanston. We also found several high-end luxury brand clothing, all of which we believe were acquired through money received from ransom cash payments. At this address, all 4 men were arrested. On the Thursday, the next day, the team continued with the tracking and tracing and the raids and so forth. And on this day, we arrested a man in Benoni. We also seized the high-powered vehicle that he was utilizing. We can confirm that these suspects have already appeared in court for other charges, such as dealing and possession of drugs. But I know that at a later stage, the kidnapping and extortion charges are going to be added onto their charge list.
Now, Colonel, there's 2 other very important questions that we need to ask here. There's a lot of speculation that when people from wealthy families are kidnapped and ransom demands are made, that these international syndicates obviously target people, they target insiders with these families to get insider information. It might be staff members. In certain instances, it might even be families. So they get these stooges, pay them an enormous amount of money, and then they gather information on the family, on the family's financial status, etc., etc. Would that be correct, number one? And then number two, how important is it that once a kidnapped person has been released, that they have long discussions and interviews with crime intelligence to try and provide as much information and intelligence that they possibly can, so that you are better armed to deal with these gangs?
Oh, well, I can't go much into those details because now we will be giving you the recipe that we utilize to get down these operations. So I can't go much into that, but safe to say that, we are working hard. We are working hard. We are tracking and tracing. Our teams are not sleeping. There is a dedicated team, like I said, at the national level that is looking into these kidnappings, particularly when ransoms are demanded. At a provincial level, we have established multidisciplinary teams that are looking into these kidnappings. So we are quite confident as a South African Police Service that we are doing all we can. We are providing the necessary resources to ensure that we arrest this type of crime. As to whether or not who is involved, who is playing a role, who is giving these syndicates information, that is part of the investigation that is part of the information and at hand that we are investigating. But all I can assure you is that whoever is behind these kidnappings, whether they are working with these syndicates or not, their day will come. Their day will come in court, and we will get to them. It's either they hand themselves in or we come after them. I think we have shown that with the capacity as a South African Police Service, working together with other stakeholders, your private securities and your Johannesburg Metro Police Department, your Zuruleni Metro Police Department, I think we have showcased in just this past week, we have showcased that we are capable and we are coming after these suspects.
And that is so, so comforting, I must say. And, immediately those people who have been accusing SAPS for being Keystone cops, they need to eat their words, because they are very, very competent units within SAPS, like your unit itself and these special task teams. So we do hope that you grow from strength to strength. But coming back to my previous question, undoubtedly, I would imagine that these kingpins, these kidnappers, are also getting insider information about the different families from financial institutions. So the financial institutions like banks, etc., also need to weed out all these rotten apples within their systems as well. Do you work closely enough with the banks and financial institutions?
Well, all I can say is that we are working together with everyone involved, every banking institutions, everyone is an important stakeholder.
Right.
Information, they're an important stakeholder. But I think it's important also to mention, like I've said, the kidnapping crime is complex in nature because lives that are involved. And hence, we do not, as a South African Police Service, comment on active kidnappings. And when I say active, it's when the victims are still in captivity. Because remember, our first priority is to rescue the victims. It's to ensure that we provide closures to the families to bring back the victims safe and unharmed. So that's why you will see that we don't say much. And then people are like, no, but the police are not working. They are too quiet.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are dealing with brute people. And hence, we also encourage families not to deal directly with these suspects, with the kidnappers, with the captors. It's advisable that you allow us with the expertise to handle all these cases for you. And I must say, in most of the cases that we have rescued the victims, no ransom was paid.
Oh, brilliant. Okay,
So,
we've got 2 minutes to wrap up time. Just two things I'd like to get in very quickly is that if a family finds themselves in a situation like this, that a loved one has been kidnapped, you are suggesting that they don't deal directly with the kidnappers, that they report the matter to SAPS. Is there a particular department that they should deal with directly rather than go to their local police station because maybe of a delay or whatever? Is there a specific number or department that they should get in touch with immediately, and who would it be?
okay. So the National Crime Intelligence Anti-Kidnapping Task Team is led by Major General Forrest Khan at a national level. Although I cannot divulge his contact details, I can give mine, and we can then communicate directly with families that are affected. My number is 082 040 8808. But I can
Just give
assure
that to us again. Just give that to us again. Oh, I have it. Not to worry. I have that number. Thank you.
you. Yeah, but we also encourage affected families that have people that have been family members that have been kidnapped to immediately, without wasting any time, report the matter to the nearest police station. Because what happens is that when it gets to the police station, it is escalated immediately to the national level and to the
Okay.
provincial level. And that's when we get the case and we start working.
All right.
So
Finally, right. We've got that point loud.
yes, they need not worry. They go to the police station, he reported immediately. Don't even wait for an hour or 2 hours to pass. He reported immediately so we can start doing the work. But they can also phone if they don't have means to get to the police station. 08600 10111 is our crime stop hotline number.
Okay. 0800. Sorry, just give that to me again. I should know this off by heart.
Okay. 08600.
Oh, 8600, right. Okay, just very quickly and finally, we understand it could be fake news. I don't know, but we are told that a lot of the kidnapping, the ransoms that are paid out is not obviously hard cash. It's wired via whatever means necessary, and it goes directly to banks in Dubai and other such destinations. That would then suggest that Interpol gets involved as well. Are you working closely with Interpol?
We are working, Interpol and SAPS is one thing. Remember, people that work at Interpol are also police officers. So we are one. Hence, the working relations that we have with your other countries. And we are working closely because where there are suspects that we are looking for, where they've crossed the country and they've gone back to their countries, we are working hard to track them down and trace them and bring them back to the country to answer to crimes that they have committed in the country. So we are working closely with all stakeholders that are involved, and we are quite confident that we are closing the net in on these several groupings. But however, if I can emphasize, I would like to advise the public: stop exposing yourself unnecessarily on social media. Social media, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. Stop showing people what you own, where you stay, checking into places when you're in places, because we don't know who you are dealing with. We don't know who is watching, who is giving what information to. So what I would advise is for people not to unnecessarily expose themselves and give
Absolutely
about their lives on these social media networks, because that is where these characters, that's where they're looking at your life, on those social media networks.
I couldn't agree with you more. We try and keep our lives very private from our families, and yet we go and splurge everything on social media, thinking that we are the latest celebrities in town, and we just don't know how we expose ourselves. But thank you indeed. It is very heartening, comforting knowing that we've got the specialized task team dealing with this high level of crime, this heinous crime. Colonel Athlenda Mathe, well done to you and your team and everybody else involved. And just keep up the great work. And that's where we leave it. Thank you and God bless.
Right. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Two after 9 o'clock. Thank you for being with us. We're wrapping up this morning's show. A big thank you to my producer Nasreen Naidu. And of course, till tomorrow morning at the same time. Don't forget the COVID protocols and take care on the roads. As always, Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz from me, Julie.